Hello everyone, my name's Ash, and this is Craftsmanship with Ash. I'm currently working on an order for a pair of custom shotgun chaps, and while I was installing the zipper for these chaps, I was thinking to myself, that would make a great how-to video on how I install a zipper in a pair of chaps. So stick around and I will walk you through my process on how I install a zipper in a pair of chaps. Before I get started, let me show you what I'm going to be working with. I've got the chap body cut out and ready. I've got a zipper that is 40 inches long. It's too long for these chaps, so later on in the video I'm going to show you how I cut down the zipper to fit. I've also got a pair of wing dividers that I'm going to use to measure some of my distances. So let me get this camera repositioned so you can see the chap body, and I'll get started. I'd like to begin and talk about how these chaps are going to be put together. I am going to lace these up, and I've got holes marked where the lace is going to go, and I'm going to be using a 1/2 inch bag punch. So the first measurement I am going to take is from the outside to the center of where the bag punch is going to go. Let me zoom in and show you how I get that measurement. To get the measurement where my line is going to go, where I'm going to set my lace holes, I'm going to take my wing dividers and set it on the outside of my pattern to the center of the bag punch. And so once I've got that measurement, I'm going to transfer that over to the chap body. Now that I've got my measurement set on my wing dividers, I'm going to come in here and scribe a line on the inside of the chap body. And this line is where the bag punch is going to punch the holes for when I lace the shafts together. Now for demonstration purposes, I'm going to highlight that line with a Sharpie so you can see it better in the video. I wouldn't recommend drawing on a pair of shafts with a Sharpie, so again, this is only for demonstration purposes. The next mark I'm going to put on the shafts is where the edge of my zipper is going to be set for when I glue the zipper onto the chap body. Now to explain this, I've got a 1/2 inch bag punch that I am going to punch the holes down the leg. Well, I don't want my zipper edge to be right up against the bag punch, so I'm going to offset that by 1/4 inch. So this next line where the edge of the zipper is going to go, it's going to be a 1/2 inch to the inside of the center line where the bag punch is going to go. I'm going to set my wing dividers to a 1/2 inch. And I'm going to just scribe a line where it's 1/2 inch inside. Now I'm going to take my wing dividers and set one leg of the wing dividers on that line that I just made that's 1/2 inch inside of the bag hole, and then to the outside of the chap body. And I'm going to drag another line right down the edge of the shaft. This line is where the edge of the zipper is going to go. Again, I'll highlight that with Sharpie so you can see it better. The next guideline I'm going to mark is to where the center of the teeth of the zipper are from the edge. Once I have that set on my wing dividers, I'm going to come in to where the edge, and I'm going to again make a little mark and open up my wing dividers to the outside body of the shafts. I'll go ahead and highlight that now. The next guideline is going to be the width of the zipper. Once I have that set, just like before, I'm going to mark a small guideline, open up my wing dividers to the edge of the shafts. And mark that line. After we get our guideline for the edge of the zipper, the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to come in an inch from the top and the bottom, and I'm going to punch a 1/2 inch hole on the center line. Let me zoom in and show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to come in from the bottom and measure 1 inch up on the guideline that is the center of the zipper. I'm going to punch a 1/2 inch hole. Either you can use a 1/2 inch hole punch or a 1/2 inch round end punch. Either will work. Once that hole is punched, I'm going to come in and just cut 2 straight lines down to the end of the shaft. The reason I'm doing this is when I go to lay in my zipper, the end of the zipper will lay into that cut, and at the top of the zipper will lay into that notch. Let me go ahead and punch the top hole. The next step in the process is to cut the zipper to length for the shaft. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay the top of the zipper in that notch we cut. I'm going to have this edge of the zipper to the top of the shaft. I'm going to lay the zipper in my guidelines for my width of the zipper. At the bottom of the zipper, I'm going to make a line where the bottom of my shaft is. And this is where I'm going to cut the zipper. I'm going to come up from the bottom about 5/8 and make a line. This is where I'm going to start taking the teeth out. Let me zoom in closer on the zipper and I'll show you the process of cutting the zipper, removing the teeth, and putting the stops back in. I'd like to take a little break and ask each one of you, would you like to see a video series of how I build a pair of shafts start to finish? If so, put a comment below, and if I get enough interest, I will start working on that series. Now, back to cutting the zipper to length. What we're going to do is remove the stops on this zipper, cut the zipper down, and then start removing the teeth. Let me move this camera in closer so you can see my process. The tool I'm going to be using is a set of end cutting nippers. First thing I'm going to do is remove these stops. So how I do that is I take the nippers and you can see I put 1 tooth just under the edge and I just open it slightly. And that end stopper is going to come right off. Go ahead and remove the other side. Earlier in the video, we marked the end where I'm going to cut the zipper, and then we marked where we're going to take the teeth off. I'm just going to take a knife and cut off the zipper at that mark where it's the end of the Chaps. I'm gonna take a lighter and just burn the ends of the zipper. That'll stop it from fraying. Now we've got the zipper end tape cut, and we're going to start removing the teeth. What I'm doing is I'm taking the nippers and I'm just putting one side on the edge and the other right underneath and opening up that tooth. Now that we've got the zipper tape cut, I'm gonna start removing the teeth. I'm just gonna take those nippers and I'm gonna set one edge on the outside of the zipper teeth and the other, and just squeeze it and open that tooth up, and it should pop right off. Once you have the teeth taken off to the mark, we're going to come back with that zipper stop that we took off earlier and just set it right back on there, and take your nippers and squeeze it back on the zipper tape. Let's go ahead and do the other side. Now we have the zipper cut to length, the zipper stops put back in, and they're ready to put on the Chap body. Now that the zipper is cut down to length, it's ready to glue onto the Chap body. I am just using Masters contact cement. Any contact cement will work. I know some people have used double-sided tape. I like to contact cement them in. Either one works. If you're going to head and glue these in, make sure that you don't put glue all the way up to the zipper teeth. Stay back about 1/4 of an inch away from the zipper teeth when you're gluing this in. I'll go ahead and glue the zipper and the Chap body and put the zipper in. I will go ahead and let this contact cement dry where it's tacky, and then I will put the zipper onto the Chap body. The zipper is now glued down to the Chap body. At this point, you'd be okay to sew this zipper in and it would be ready to go. I've seen many Chaps, repaired many Chaps that are like that. I take it one step further. I've got a piece of leather that I'm going to put over the top of the zipper. So I'm sandwiching the zipper between basically two pieces of leather. What I've done is on the inside edge, I don't know if you can see that, I've skived this down to the feather edge where it's gonna lay up against where the zipper teeth is. It's cut larger than the zipper body, so once I sew it, I'll go ahead and trim that off. To the inside, I've cut another piece of leather that I'm going to lay over the zipper. However, on this one, I have skived both sides down to a feather edge. I will go ahead and get those glued on and sew the zipper into the Chap body. It's a little boring watching glue dry, so I'm gonna head glue them, sew them, and I'll be right back. I'm down to the last step of installing this zipper in this leg of this pair of Chaps. I just finished sewing in these reinforcement pieces. What I'm gonna do is flip the Chap over and I'm gonna cut down that zipper to open up the leg. What I'm gonna use to cut this opening along the zipper is a blade with a hooked piece on the end. I think it's a shingle blade. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna hook it right over that hole I punched and then just pull it and cut right down along the zipper. I wanna thank you for sticking around and watching how I install a zipper and a pair of shaps. I hope this helps you on a future project. Remember, if you would like to see me do a video series on how I build a pair of shaps, start to finish, remember, comment below, and remember to check out my other videos.